Hi guys, Alicia Walls here with Walls, Tumblers, and More, better known as Walls Customs Creation. And in today's video, guys, I want to show you how to set your sublimation printer to print the best vibrant prints, regardless of whatever type of sublimation paper that you're using. Now, I will talk a little bit about some of the sublimation paper that I've used that I really did not get the best results, but all in all, it really does not matter about your sublimation paper. It's all about your settings on your sublimation printer. Now, the settings that we're going to talk about, those settings are for the Epson 7710 printer or the 7720. Okay, now to my understanding, my experience, any of the Epson printers, you can use this setting with it. Okay, a lot of people have already figured out which settings to use, but there's still a lot of people that are struggling with their, maybe this is a craft for you, or you're trying to start a business, which I will definitely have a video on that a little bit later on. So make sure that you guys have already subscribed to my channel so that you get the notifications every single time that I upload a video here. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on into this video. Now, as you guys see here on the screen here, this is our sublimation ink. It's called Walls Custom Colors, and this is some fantastic sublimation ink. We are pretty much just bringing this out to the public. We didn't want to really be stingy and just keep this ink to ourselves, but we get some fantastic sublimation prints with this ink here, guys. So if you guys would like to test it out right now, we have this ink 40% off because we want you guys to really get a chance to see what Walls Custom Colors, this sublimation ink is all about. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on into this video. Okay, so as you guys will notice here, I am using a Mac computer, and the Mac computer and your Windows computer, they pretty much work the same. You just have to kind of search in different places for it, but I will have a Windows version of this uploaded a little bit later. So for all of my Mac users, make sure you guys pay close attention. This is a really easy process, just to be honest with you guys, but make sure you pay close attention to what I am actually showing you. A lot of people, guys, and I do mean a lot of people, they really think that you have to have the color profile in order to get the best prints when it comes to your sublimation. But newsflash, guys, you do not need a color profile to get the best prints. Okay, you do not. That's the reason why you really can't find a color profile for certain type of printers. You can't find a color profile for a lot of the sublimation ink that a lot of people are selling here. So let me jump on into it. Let me show you exactly what you need to do. So here on the Mac, what you guys want to do is you want to go to your system preferences. Okay, and on your, I'm gonna open this up a little bit so you can see it. I think I can. Nope, can't open it up. That's okay. So what you want to look for is you want to look for your printer. Okay, now I'm assuming that you guys have already installed your printer. If you have not, I'll definitely have a video on that a little bit later on as well. But for right now on the Mac, let's look for printers and scanners in your system preferences. Okay, and for the most part, you can find system preferences either in your tray down here at the bottom, or you can click on the little apple that's at the top left hand corner of your Mac screen. Okay, so we'll go ahead and double click on the printers and the settings here, and as you can see, I have a couple of printers here, but you want to look for the name of your printer. Okay, and in this case, this is the Epson. I've already downloaded the software for this. Now, you do need to download the software from the manufacturer's website, not the color profile, but you want to download the software, because with that software, guys, it actually gives you a lot of different options that you will not have if you do not download that software for your particular printer. Okay, So once you click on the printer that you do your sublimation with, over here, just to make sure that you have everything set up correctly and you have downloaded the correct software, click here on options and supplies, and under your driver version, guys, you should have 10 point whatever. Okay, it should not be 3.0 or 4.0. That means that your software is not up to date. If you do have anything less than 10 point, like here it's 10.85, you want to make sure you go to Epson's website and you download the updated software and install that on your computer so that your printer is reading everything that's up to date. Okay, so once you see that, you want to make sure that you click on these different options. I'm a person that I love to click on different windows. That's how you find out things. I promise you, you will not mess up anything. If you do, all you have to do is click on cancel. It's just that easy. Okay, so here in the screen here, I'm just going to let this sit here for just a few minutes so you guys can see the different options that I have. I can tell you guys here what the defaults are. Normally the thick paper and envelopes is turned off, the skip blank page is turned off, the quiet mode is off, the permit temporary black printing is off, and the high speed printing is on. As you guys see here, I turned that option off. I do not want my printer to print fast when I am printing my sublimation designs. You want to make sure that your printer is printing at a pretty slow speed, not really slow, but slow enough to where it gets all of the ink in the places where it needs to be, and there's no smears or anything like that when you are done printing your sublimation design. Okay, the next thing that you want to have on, and which this is normally on, is your warning notifications and your established bi-directional communication. Okay, so it's only two things, I was counting them here. It's only two things that you want to have on. All the rest of them should be off. Your supply of ink, it will show you here how much ink that you have in there. Now I know for certain that my black is not full. That's the only thing. Whenever you are converting your printer over to a sublimation computer, when you're converting your sublimation printer over to a oh my god, I'm just so tongue-tied. When you are converting your regular printer over to a sublimation printer, this is what I have noticed, that the ink levels are not as accurate as it would be if you're using just a regular Epson ink. Okay, so make sure that you guys are monitoring that. If you're printing a lot of sublimation designs, you want to make sure that you are definitely monitoring this, not from the screen here, but from your printer. Okay, and for the utilities, of course, this is where you can go. You can open up your printer utility. You can do a test print if you need, and you can clean your heads. I clean my heads on my printer at least once a week, and that's because I do a lot of printing here. But if you don't do a lot of printing, you want to clean your print heads to make sure there's no clogs or anything like that. But the great part with our ink that we use here, Walls Custom Colors, this ink does not stop up your print heads. It does not do any of those things. It will not smear whenever it's printed out. It dries pretty fast on your sublimation paper to make sure that you don't have to sit that paper to the side and wait for it to dry. A lot of people like to print and sublimate. This ink is great to do that. So you guys make sure you check that out whenever you're in the market to purchase more sublimation ink. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is, and once you're done with that, just click on OK. Okay, if there's anything that you needed to change. All right. And the next thing that we're going to do, we're just going to go here to just a picture, whatever picture that you have. You can open this inside of your regular on the MacBook. It's called if I'm not mistaken, it's called Photo Preview or something like that. And you can open that up, because I found that you get your best prints, or better, not the best prints, but your settings. You can really go in and play with those settings when you're printing from the preview. Okay, so what I do is I open up my image, and I use Photoshop to edit a lot of things, create a lot of things, and I save it from Photoshop because Photoshop has made it a little bit harder for a lot of people to do what they want to do in there. Okay, so I save it as a PNG file because PNG files is the largest. It's okay to use JPEG, but PNG is the largest. It gives you the best resolution. Okay, so I'll come here to preview, and I'll click on File, and I'll come down here to Print. Okay, and once I come down here to print, I want to make sure that my printer is the correct printer. So I'll go over here to my Epson Workforce 7710 series. And once I do that, of course, you see here that picture turned from black and white to a color photo. Okay, now the first thing that you guys want to do in this little drop down menu here, I will go and change all of my paper sizes and stuff a little bit later, but I'll come here and I'll click on the drop down menu, and I just go to all of them, guys. Look at everything that's in there so you can familiarize yourself with what's actually in here, because I'm actually about to show you how to save those presets so you don't have to worry about doing a flipping your image or anything like that to make it mirror. It will automatically do it every single time that you print. Okay, so as you can see under layout, it's really nothing here that you can change or need to change in layout. You don't have to worry about it being in landscape or portrait because it's going to print exactly how it looks over here. Under color matching, now this is the most important part. Okay, under color matching. Now, when you have an Epson printer, you want to make sure that it's set here to Epson color controls, because if it's not and you have it here, it's going to ask you to select the color profile. And once it asks you to select the color profile, it will not give you the options that we're going to talk about here in just a second. Okay, now if you want to use your color profile, by all means, you can select it there and you can print with it. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to select Epson, and we're going to go back to the drop down menu, and let's go ahead and go to our paper handling. Your paper handling is pretty much, it's going to print all of your pages. The page order is automatic. All of those things stay the same. You don't have to change any of that stuff at all. Okay, cover page, it's nothing in there. I really don't use anything on the cover page. Your print settings is another very important one. This is where we're going to change the media type, okay, and the print quality. Now, as you notice here, this is premium presentation paper matte. This is the best media type, hands down. This is what you need every single time that you are printing on, or better yet, printing with your Sublimation printer. Okay, and sometimes I play around with the normal and the best quality, but of course I always get those vibrant, those dark black prints when I use the best quality. Okay, another thing here where your preset is saved is when you check this mirror your image. Okay, this will always stay checked here. I don't care if you change whatever, as long as you're printing on your Epson printer, it will always stay the same. And this is with any printer. I'm just saying Epson because I have an Epson. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to come here and we want to go to color options. This is where we're going to make sure that we change it to what we need to change to, and it's going to print that way every time. This is how you get your vibrant prints, because of the color options. Okay, so as you'll notice here, we have manual settings selected on the top. All of these other things, guys, you don't need it whatsoever. Okay, down here we're going to go to advanced, click that little arrow down, and under mode we want to click Adobe RGB. Okay, and under gamma you want to make sure that it's 2.2 and not 1.8. okay, after that, what I normally do is I just raise the saturation just a little bit to 6. I've gone from 6 to 9. They still look fantastic. If you want to, play around with some of these things, you can, but I'm just telling you guys the best settings. I've changed the brightness a little bit brighter or a little bit darker, and those did not work for me whatsoever. Okay, If you look here, nothing else has changed, only the saturation. Only the saturation, guys, okay? So once you're done doing that, the two-sided print, you definitely do not need that. And this last one is just checking your print levels like we talked about just a minute ago. Okay, so once you have all of that done, the next thing to do is change your paper size. So all you want to do is, if you're using an 8.5 by 11, if you're using, and that's the US letter, if you're using a 11 by 17, which is the tabloid, you want to make sure you come here, guys. You really don't need to do anything in Borderless, because I've noticed that Borderless really takes off some of your items. Okay, even if you have to attach some prints together to make a larger print, the Borderless takes away from your paper that's being printed. So I never use that. Okay, the next thing that you may need to use is the 13 by 19, which is the sub B here on my printer. And I use that if I'm printing on a t-shirt or something like that. A lot of people use 11 by 17. I print on a 13 by 19 when I'm printing on a shirt or something. Okay, so we're just going to go with the 8.5 by 11 because I'm not actually going to print anything. I just wanted to show you guys the settings. And once you're done doing all of that, you can look at the default settings and stuff like that by pretty much going to show presets. And once you go to show presets, the only thing that I have noticed that needs to be changed, let me see, can I find it here, is the grayscale. You want to make sure that your grayscale is turned off. And pretty much all that you have to do that is you will come here to this little ratchet looking thing down there. Let me see, can I find it? Hold on, let me find it in here, because it is an option in here to do that. Well, you know what? For the most part, for your Epson printer on the Mac, because I have never changed this grayscale, I just know that it needs to be off. It's already set, okay? And if it's not, I'll definitely leave that in the description if I find anything else about that, okay? But other than, I'm going to go ahead and click cancel here because I don't want anything to change anything. So I'm going to cancel, and to make sure whenever you're looking for your presets, if yours is set to default, you want to do default. If you've changed anything, just make sure that it's selected as last use settings. Okay. Now, guys, you're more than welcome to test out some of the, we're going to go back here to the print settings. You're more than welcome to test out any of these paper types that are the premiums. Nothing that's, you know, your plain or nothing like that. Letterhead, I've printed on all of those, guys, and I'm here to tell you the premium presentation photo paper mat, the premium presentation paper mat is by far, hands down, the absolute best to print from. The only thing that I would change if I were you guys is, you know, normal or best quality. And you would do this if you notice that your prints they have like little streaks or something, or little bitty lines in the black or whatever color. And normally your darker colors, they do that. But if that's happening, all you want to do is go here and change it from best quality to normal. Okay. After you're done doing that, guys, you've already pretty much gotten everything set up. Once you click print, it's going to automatically save your settings in there anyway. Okay. Okay, guys, so now let's talk about the sublimation paper, because I know I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I did want to tell you guys about excuse me, I did want to tell you guys about some of the sublimation paper that I've used and where I purchased my sublimation paper. As you guys can see, I purchased all of my sublimation paper through Amazon. Okay, now I've tried pretty much I want to say about maybe 10 different sublimation papers. Everyone was raving over the A-sub paper. A-sub works great for some people, but what I noticed with A-sub is every single time, guys, that I would print something off to press on a shirt or press on any type of garment, I would always get those lines in my print. If I were pressing a tumbler, my tumbler would feel really I don't know, like it was some type of adhesive or something that was coming from the paper. I would, you know, wash it with soap and water, and once I dried it, yes, I still had that same feel, and it also looked completely different. So I decided to try another type of sublimation paper. But like I said, I've used a lot. I'm not really going to go into all the ones that I've used, but I will let you guys know what's my go-to sublimation paper. And this one here is my go-to sublimation paper. This is fantastic, guys. It's not as thick as the A-sub paper, and I have noticed that this paper dries super fast. Okay, it dries really fast, and whenever it dries fast like that, it also is, you know, it comes from your sublimation ink as well. But this right here, this brand here, it really gets the job done for me every single time. I've tried this on ceramics, I've tried this on tumblers, I've tried this on different garments, t-shirts, just regular polyester that I've purchased from Walmart. I'm talking about, it works fantastic. It comes in 11 by 17, and this one with this little lion on it. Now I haven't used this, even though this is just like the regular premium, but this is ultra premium over here. Okay, and it is fantastic, guys. Okay, I'll have the link in the description below for this sublimation ink as well. Okay, but other than that, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about our tumbler press here, and I'm not going to talk a lot about it, just a little bit. I do want to let you guys know that we do offer the tumbler press machines if this is something that you guys want to kind of venture off in. I know a lot of us use the oven and the convection oven to do that. But this right here really cuts that time, and I'm talking about less than half of the time that you would have it in your oven and things like that. Okay. We also have another option. You know, a lot of people like to switch out the different attachments. You like to do the tapered and the mugs and all of those type of things. This option here, which will include your machine and all 9 of these attachments. Now, our machine on the previous screen, guys, you do not need an attachment in order for you to sublimate any of your straight tumblers, whether it's your 15 ounce, your 12 ounce, your 30 ounce, your 20 ounce, your 22 ounce, whatever. You do not need to switch out an attachment. But there are a lot of people that like to sublimate the different wine cup tapers, the 12 ounce tapers, and those are the ones that you would find like at maybe Michael's or something like that. So if you would like this option, we definitely have this. I'll have the link to our online store in the description below. But other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you felt like this video really helped you to get your printer settings correct, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and make sure that you hit that bell icon. And most definitely, guys, share the video with others so that everyone will have the equal opportunity to get the best out of their sublimation prints. Thank you guys again for watching, and you guys have a great day.